Yes, the first time was interesting because we didn't exactly know what we wanted it to do, but we knew what we wanted it to achieve in the life of creatives. We wanted it to give them community, give them a safe space, and know that this is a place they could always come back to find connections with other creative people in Abuja, because that's something that is a little more rare than is ideal. So one thing we always try to do is also get speakers with from different backgrounds, because creativity takes on different shapes. So we had one person who's a content creator, and we had one who is a game designer, also a creator, but making products for the real life, for the real world rather. And it was just insightful to know that creativity, in a sense, the principles are the same, no matter what it is you're making. I believe that this space, first of all, just sets the atmosphere for something warm. It's not some conference, it's not some seminar, it's where I've come to become a better human being as a whole, and as a result, a better creative ultimately. So that's the vibe that we're always going for. And the real life results always just surpass our expectations.
There's so much diversity, so much color in our culture and reality that hasn't been painted yet. I think we have so many rich stories, so many rich realities that we haven't taken advantage of. Not only that, representation is also a very big part of it. We haven't been able to truly represent ourselves in these various ecosystems. And that's not to say it's not happening. We have a lot of people that are doing great work. But I think it's important to contribute to the African reality, the African ecosystem, to build things that look like us, feel like us, sound like us, that are us, and for people to see themselves through the products that they have and through the products that we build. You sometimes start losing your zeal for life when you're doing things that you're not meant to be doing. You're like, I'm not happy doing this. And that happens to a lot of people. I'll call it like a quarter life crisis. Before you get to like your midlife crisis, you go through the quarter, you're doing something, you're not sure this is where I'm meant to be, you're not happy. And you can't spend hours doing that thing. You just do it, get paid, move on.
I know there are things, because I've tried so many things already, so there were things that I did that I was feeling like, what am I doing in my life? Like, what is even this? I didn't feel any sense of fulfillment, purpose, direction. I felt stuck, lost. I hated having to get up and go to my 9 to 5 then.
Wake up in the morning and everywhere is just dark for some reason. If there's sun outside, though, but everywhere is just feeling dark. And desperately search for what would make me happy, what would give life meaning. And the concept of Ikigai combines four things: what you're good at, what you're passionate about and love doing, what the world needs, and what the world can pay you for. And finding that segue, that intersection of everything.
I feel like being a creative allowed me to just morph. It allowed me to mold myself into something new every day. So even if I wanted to make a story based on one thing, it doesn't have to be that one thing forever. There's a story I can always tell based on another thing. So the fact that it gave me flexibility and I was drawn to things like that and allowed myself to express, it felt like, yes, this is my thing, this is my calling, and I'm willing to try again and again in this thing.
After I had gone through the journey of Ikigai, there was one night I was walking till 4 a.m. Like, I was walking, like literally going on like, working till 4 a.m. And I caught a glimpse of myself. I was like, I'm happy. Like, I'm awake at 4 a.m. walking. Like, I'm walking, but I was happy. Like, I was happy to put in the work, happy to put in the time. And I realized that I loved what I was doing. And I think that is something that you cannot trade for money. That's contentment that comes with doing what you love and also doing what you're good at or becoming good at the thing that you love.
We're finding now that the principles are uniform across board, whether you're creating a film for Hollywood or you're making a video for Instagram. The rules are the same, the principles are the same. You have to love what you're doing, you have to do research, you have to think about who you're making it for, and you have to do it consistently.
There's a very popular saying, I love it. I think I've heard this said a lot of times: without discipline, you never start, and without consistency, you never finish. It's a very beautiful saying. The truth about discipline is in the consistency. I think a lot of people mistake consistency and discipline for not having downtimes are not having slumps. You will go through those processes, but every time you fall down, every time you have a slump, you must get back up. You must find your way back on the horse. You must find your way through the system, through the processes. You must show up every single day in some shape or form towards your goals, towards your ambitions, towards the things that you're passionate about. Consistency is the name of the game, and you have to keep showing up every single day.
Life is about marketing, to be honest. Marketing is a major part of our lives. We market ourselves every day. You want people to perceive you in a certain way. It's part of marketing, you know. I was privileged because I studied marketing in school. So I had some certain level of understanding, or at least some foundation in marketing. Growing in content creation, I just saw that, okay, there's a space for people to understand that beyond just bringing value, you need people to recognize that value. You need to be able to draw people's attention to that value. People are ready to give value for value. So it's not just, like I said, about getting attention. It's about what you can give. So marketing is like just helping me let people know that I have something here to give. And automatically it's like a return.
Everyone should stop thinking about networking as this thing they need to do to climb in their career, and think about it more as, I need people to exist. I need people to advance, and connection will happen in very organic ways. I don't need to force it. I just need to put myself in the space where it can happen and contribute to building those spaces. Because there's people who are always talking about how, oh, there's no community, and then they don't go to events. Or even when they go, they're not volunteering. All those events, there's someone who's making it come together. For example, today, Creatives Corner was a free event. There were drinks, there was a little something to bite, but that came from somewhere. Someone paid for that, you know? So you need to think, how am I going to contribute to this community that I want? Am I going to volunteer? Am I going to say, okay, I know how to take pictures, I'll take pictures for the event. Someone needs to set up, I'll come 30 minutes earlier, I'll set up the chairs. Someone needs to do follow-up. I like making phone calls, I like talking to people, I'll do all the follow-up, you know? It's in all of us contributing our quota in those ways that the community continues to thrive. We need to take decisions in a way that is considering the entire ecosystem, not just the good of ourselves. Because if the ecosystem is prosperous, then all of us within it are by default also prosperous. You know, so if you're thinking about only yourself, then you might grow, but then you hit a ceiling because the ecosystem cannot accommodate growth beyond a certain stage. So we want to all grow the ecosystem. So there's so much growth such that one slice of the pie that I have is so much bigger than what I would have had if I had 100% of the pizza.
When you create a community, your community is excited to see who you are and see you, not beyond just what you have to offer them. They know you carry something. So using the painting analogy, people that know that I paint really well, when I tell them, you know, I'm thinking of not just painting, but also, you know, probably going into pattern drafting or something, they will get excited because it's about, she has a certain type of artistry that we admire and we can't wait to see what next for her. So I don't think anyone should feel stuck. Your people will always be your people, and that is who you should do it for. That should be your motivation.
Okay, today reminded me that I have time. Being in a room full of other creatives and just seeing everybody gather for the same reason was just so inspiring.
Everything is in stages that, you know, I should give myself some grace for the things I'm trying to put together. Don't be shy, don't give up, don't say you don't want to put yourself out there because you're not really seeing results or you don't have motivation. Do it even when you don't feel like it. Yeah.